Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another monsters video. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the newest ancestral monster at level 150. So I hope you're all excited. If you are, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, let's go and get started. Now, in case you guys didn't know, in the newest season, they went ahead and decided to release this monster at 150. So you can basically test this monster out at 150, which is super cool because they did this with Just and Justice and also Calrock, I think that was his name. But yeah, we have the new ancestral monster here and you can actually test it on a battle. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split this video into two. So half of this video is going to be me testing this monster out, you know what I mean, checking out if the monster is actually worth picking up or whatever. And then later on, half of the other video, I'm actually going to do an analysis where we take a look at the remaining skills that are not for show here. So what we're going to do is we're going to review it right now. It looks like the power can be better. As you guys can see, it's not all the way filled up. Same with life. But then the speed's actually crazy good. But here's what I'm actually kind of confused about, because the life and power for this monster is actually pretty good. Take a look at this, right? So if we head over to the monstergram, take a look at this. So at 150 or level 100, it doesn't matter which one you actually compare it at. But let's say we do 150. You get 1.5 million life, which is actually higher than any other monster in the game. Look at this. Babashir, or let's say we use Just and Justice since it's the last second monster, you know what I mean? The most recent. We get 1.49 million. So it's actually higher than that monster by quite a lot. And then look at this one too. We're basically higher than any of these ancestral monsters. Like the life is actually higher than them, so it's not even like lacking life basically. But if you do want to give in some muted runes, you could do like speed with life or whatever you want to mess around with. The monster doesn't necessarily need a lot of life, but I'm just saying, like, since they're saying that it's lacking life, you know what I mean, if you wanted to do that, you can. Also the power, it's actually higher than Just and Justice, which is actually an attacker. Well, actually, hold on, whoa, never mind, I guess not. Maybe not the power part, but the life for sure. If we actually take a look at Babashir, you get 46k compared to 50k. Take a look at that. So it's not higher than Just and Justice, obviously, which makes sense. It's an attacker. But if we do take a look at maybe Grifani Iron Wings, it's actually higher than Grifani Iron Wings by like 3,000, which is actually quite a lot. Same with this monster, almost 3,000 basically. So you guys can see that this monster is actually very good in terms of stats, since it's actually one of the newest ancestrals. And not just that, but also trait wise. Let me actually get started with the traits. So trait wise, I really like this monster because she is actually, first of all, she's the first female ancestral monster. Not just that, but also the fact that it's actually an ant speeder. So this monster have anticipation as a trade. In order to make this monster very usable, right, let's just say, pretty good, like get it at a decent level where it's actually good, like you can actually start using it in like battles and stuff, get it to at least rank 3 because of anticipation. And then if you want to make it super meta, get it to rank 5 because of the area random debuff. Now this will come in handy in team wars especially, and also PvP, but especially team wars. Imagine using this monster on defense, you know, applying that random debuff to the enemy. That could definitely throw off the enemy for sure when they're attacking. So it's a really good monster for sure. We do have Mind of Blind, which let's not forget also has Shadowina also has it, for example. Tough trait's actually one of my personal favorites as well. I think this is really good. I would have taken Bulwark, but Tough is pretty good. It's still up there. And then Sunburn Immunity can come in handy, you know what I mean? So overall, a really good monster in terms of traits and also stats. But let's go ahead and do a review on this monster where we actually test it out in battle, guys. So here we go. We have it at 150. So you have to apparently apply 12 random debuffs. Now it's actually pairing it up with these other two monsters that's a part of the event, by the way. If you actually head over to the event board, you can obtain both of them right here throughout the whole challenge. Like if you could actually get to them, you can even get it ranked up, obviously. So it's taken us up against the previous ancestral monster with the two allies, you know, against them. But let's see, one of the skills here, Puppet Master's Pull. It's a moderate metal damage to one enemy, removes positive stat effect from one enemy, and applies total damage reduction, and applies an extra turn to itself. So in other words, gives an extra turn to itself. So that's pretty good to start off. In case if there's a Megaton and you want to open a path for yourself, this would be good. Let's see the relics that they give. Oh, there's no relics. Okay, I'm gonna have to get into that and let you guys know what relics to give. She actually comes with her own Essen, by the way. If you do want to give that Essen, I would say do that for sure. Now with the second relic slot, I don't know what it actually is. We could definitely check out real quick. If we tap on the monster, it's actually a trap. You could do any trap that would give you stamina. I would highly suggest doing a trap that gives you either stamina or deals damage to the enemies and applies torture monsters or remove stamina. I think that would be pretty nice. So Adderlash Trap, Slumster Trap for stamina regen, or whatever else, you know what I mean, for sure. But anyways, like I said, you can start off with this PER in the beginning, but apparently you have to apply random debuffs in order to get Multiverse Massacre. So anyways, Twist of the Strength, it's a moderate magic damage and applies total blind to an enemy, gives itself 1 extra turn. They actually messed up with the turn, like they forgot to write the N at the end. You guys see that when they coded the monster? They'll definitely fix that. Anyways, Widening the Web. Moderate metal damage to all enemies, applies a random debuff status effect to all enemies twice, and applies nanovirus. Now I'm pretty sure there's actually there's got to be a relic, right, that actually applies the random debuff on top, right? Like it actually triggers after attacking. If there is, that would be nice. If there isn't, I'm sure they'll actually release that eventually, and that will make this monster a lot more like powerful. Because think about it, like the random debuffs that you're gonna be applying, it's pretty good. Look at this. So first of all, not did we only apply, let me see, the debuffs. Wait, hold on. So I guess her status caster doesn't count. Wait, does her status caster not count? Because technically this monster has debuffs, right? That is, he's like, she applies in the beginning. I guess that doesn't count. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and use a skill, and that just triggered, and I'm not sure how much it actually was. Probably like a +3. We're about to find out. Let's see how much it was. Oh, that, look, one of the random debuffs was a death countdown, and that is scary. That is actually really scary. Removes all negative status effects, heals all allies, and gives 50% of stamina. You can do, yeah, so technically a maximum stamina decrease is also considered a debuff. So you can actually do that. There's a healing itself. Random, okay, there's a negative effect protection and trade tables. Oh my gosh, yeah, heck yeah, let's do it. So that technically also should actually count. And so there it is, +2. And then there's also obviously the ultimate, but we're not going to use that. Stamina leak can also, I believe Stamina leak is actually 1 as well. Oh, it applies a random debuff that gives an extra turn. What? There it is. Unfortunately, it didn't land, but you get the idea basically. So we have a 5 out of 12 right now. We do have remove evasion, applies total blind. I believe total, wait, is total blind 1? I don't think so. It's more of a status effect, isn't it? Okay, never mind. I guess it counted. But so anyways, Ancestral Awakened, that's fine. We can actually heal everybody. Let's do it. We healed everybody, and we could do Roof Hauser test that can trait Disable and Mega Corrupt and negative status effects. I think that would be nice against since he has his Ancestral Awakening. That would be a good way to like kind of possess him and help maybe like use him against us. So let me see. I actually want to try this again. Total Blind. Does this actually work as a random debuff? I guess it kind of does, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm not sure what it was before that I actually used. But total damage reduction shouldn't actually work either, right? There's no way. Total damage reduction doesn't. Yeah, but this one right here, random debuff to all enemies twice, this should actually work. So let's go ahead and use it. And +3, ladies and gentlemen. So we're getting pretty close. And look at that. Since he used one of his extra turns, this is actually great. The fact that they actually put, I see why they actually put it up against Just and Justice and Spatian, right? This monster has a bunch of extra turn skills, and so do these two. So it's actually really, really nice here. We're going to go ahead and do this. And I'm thinking about doing one of these skills. And we got our +1, ladies and gentlemen. So we have our Ancestral Awaken here. Finally, take a look at this. So the more debuffs on the enemies, the more damage you're going to be dealing. Look at this, guys, right? So removes debuffs effect from all enemies and deals more damage per effect removed, right? You guys ready? Look at all this, guys. The more we remove, the more damage you're going to be dealing. Look at this. Boom, status explosion. You guys ready? Wait for it. Look at that. Look at the damage that's just kicking in. That's just amazing. And you think it's done? Nope. So it's kind of nice because well, it's nice and also not nice because you're dealing damage, which is nice, right? You're dealing damage to the enemy. Yeah, that's really good. But then you're also removing those negative side effects, which I don't like. The random debuffs that you're going to be applying, all those debuffs, they're going to be going away. You know what I mean? You're removing them. So basically, she's like basically powering herself up from all those random debuffs. But since she's removing them, that's also bad. So something to like watch out from, I guess. Just be careful with that. So overall, I would say it's a really good Ancestral monster, but the Awakening could have been a lot better. It's definitely not one of my personal favorites, but I think it's still good enough. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there will be players that will come up with like unique ways of using this monster that would make it a lot better. I'm sure of it, but at the moment, unfortunately, I mean, it's nothing crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like, I still prefer like Just and Justice Ultimate or Ancestral over this one, obviously. But we have a 11 out of 12 here, so let's go ahead and use this. And unfortunately, that didn't land. We'll do the Total Blind. Total Blind didn't land, obviously. We'll do an AoE Total Blind that actually counted as a +1. And here we go. So we get our awakening thanks to the anticipation and him triggering his thing there. So since we have all those, let's go ahead and benefit from it. All those negative effects that we have there, you know what I mean? All the debuffs, status explosion, that is how it works, guys. So the more effects that they have, the more debuffs, the more damage you're going to be dealing. So technically this monster could be an attacker if you think about it, with her with her ultimate like that being used. But if there's none, by the way, there's no use of using it. Basically there's not going to be anything. So unfortunately it will be useless if, you know what I mean, the enemy doesn't have any debuffs. So just be careful of that. It's just like the more you have, the better it is. So her ancestral form, technically her awakening is kind of useless if the enemy doesn't have anything, but most of the time you should be good. It should actually have something. I feel like it could have been a lot better if this monster had maybe Pierce with his ancestral form, you know what I mean? That would have been a lot better, like Just Justice has, for example, in case you guys didn't know. I currently have this at rank 3, but take a look at this. So the Divine Justice, that's what it's called. Look, so the monster, it needs to trigger 5 times the damage boost, which is actually very easy to do. But look, the monster get Pierce and True Vision, so it's not going to miss, and it has Pierce, which is going to go crazy. But for this monster, unfortunately, you don't have Pierce, you don't have True Vision or anything like that. I personally would have actually taken True Vision over Sunburn Immunity. I think that would have been a lot better, but unfortunately it's not like that. And also, let's not forget about the Awakening special skill. So once you basically get your Awakening, you're going to have Skill Mirror, which is actually, I believe, the same thing Grafania has and a few other ancestral monsters. And not just that, but also you're going to get 50% damage reduction. Like I said, a True Vision would have been a lot better. I would have taken True Vision, but 50% damage reduction is actually not bad either. That could also come in handy. But overall, pretty good ancestral for sure. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think it's like an OP ancestral, but in my personal opinion, I think she's pretty good. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the second part of the video, where I'm actually going to do an analysis. We're going to take a look at the remaining skill sets that you know, we didn't see in the actual battle. Let's go ahead and see this. All right, so first of all, it's part of the families and females book, so 2 books for Team Wars. And not just that, but also you have metal and magic as well for that. So anyways, let's take a look at the skills here. One of the skills we've already seen, obviously, which removes positive status effects, gives itself an extra turn and total damage reduction. Twist of the strings, moderate magic damage, and applying total blind to one enemy, gives itself 1 extra turn. They also didn't write the N for the turn there. I don't know if that's supposed to be on purpose or not, but like in actual game, that's also the way it is. So I wonder what like maybe that's an error or something. I don't know. Widening the web, we've also seen that, which is a random debuff status effect to all enemies twice. That's one of her best skills. You should always run it, guys. Last but not least, Destiny by Design, which removes evasion for everybody and applies total blind and deals moderate magic damage to all enemies. So those are the 4 best skills that are apparently in the game and also shown in here in this stat sheet. Now, I really wanted to do like a second part where we actually take a look at the remaining skills, but Monstrogens, the community manager actually messed up a little bit. I don't know if you guys actually knew about this, but take a look at this. So we have obviously the monster that I just went ahead and, you know, check out all the skills. But if you actually tap on the link where you're supposed to see the remaining stat sheet, you know, like the remaining of it, we have Goruptor, not the right monster. They went ahead and kind of messed up with this. And I already checked out Goruptor, and Goruptor has Goruptor, so they didn't even switch it up or anything like that. It's literally just a mistake. It's an error. So unfortunately, I won't be able to see the remaining skill sets, which sucks. But at least we were able to actually review it in actual game. Now, personally, if I had to give runes to this monster, first of all, I would actually give in the Fsen for herself, you know, the Fsen of hers itself. So if you do only missing and we go with the ancestral and do, for example, Essence, we should have the newest one, which is right here, right after her name. Basically, it's basically made for her. But take a look at this. When the wearer dies, revives wearer with 347,000 points of life. So you're gonna be resurrecting yourself with over 300,000 life. By the way, this is at level 50, so you do have to max it out. But take a look at the other ones. After damaging with a skill, if any enemy is suffering a random negative side effect, removes 500 points of stamina from all enemies and deals 140,000 points of magic damage to all enemies. So this SN, not only does it revive you, but also it's going to deal so much damage and also remove so much stamina, which is insane. So this is actually really good. And not just that, but also when the wearer dies, if this monster is in the team, which most likely will be if you're actually going to give this to her, it's going to deal 93,000 points of magic damage to all enemies and applies a random debuff, which is actually really good. So think about this. The random debuff, oh yeah, I was actually talking about that earlier, right? There's got to be a relic. So when this ancestral monster dies, it'll trigger everybody in the enemy team will actually have a random effect or random debuff, sorry. So I wonder if that's actually going to count towards her ancestral form. It could, we'll have to see. Now when it comes down to, for example, traps to give, like I said, I would highly recommend giving in something that you can actually regenerate stamina from, which is Slumster Trap, right? But if you don't want to give that and you want to be a little bit fancier, you can actually go with like Underworld Trap, which actually removes a lot more stamina. Not only that, but you're also applying a random torture, and it seems like, let's see, it's also going to apply more tortures here. So when you're dealing more damage and everybody's from the Underdwellers faction, you're actually going to be doing a lot more. And there's also a lot more traps to take a look around with. I believe this one's also really good because look, it's going to heal you. So when the turn starts, if any enemies under control, it heals everybody. And also, I would say this would be good if you actually paired up with the controller from the event, the one that we just paired it up with basically in here. Which one was it? I think it was it Corruptor or the other one? I believe it was the Corruptor monster. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one that actually does that. So if we take a look at it here, yeah, Mega Corruption. So you can actually use that towards your advantage. I think that would be a really good trap to give in, I would say, for this monster. But if you don't, Slipster Trap again, like I said. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to make this video to, you know, kind of review this monster and give you guys a, like my opinion on this monster, whether or not you should actually invest. I would say, heck yeah, do it. You know what I mean? It's actually worth picking up. But me personally, I think what I'll do is I'll actually get this monster at level 100. And I'll do my review at level 100 separately, by the way, to show you guys how good the monster is at level 100, even though I just did a 150 review. But not just that, the remaining tickets I end up obtaining in the Conjuring event, I think what I'll do is actually I'll like invest it in Bobby Bashir. Since I already have the monster, I might as well get extra cells and just rank that one up. I have Just Injustice right now at 130, technically 132 because I could go ahead and break it out right now and get the monster, you know what I mean, to 132 if I wanted to. But I think the next monster I need to work on should be Bobby Bashir and get this to rank 3. And then after that, I'll probably do, you know, this monster, or I'll do Grafana Iron Wings. I'll have to decide by that. But anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you next one. Peace out.